Now, you must have heard when they say, take the law into your own hands. Now, this is actually a very literal representation of taking the law into your own hands. Look at this video. Now, these are not just two random men in suits who are just walking down the streets and are having a fight. The person who is throwing punches is, in fact, the president of Guinea Bissau. Yes, you heard me. The president of an entire country throwing punches at somebody else. Now, that other man is a minister, and the reason why he's so angry and throwing all these punches is because he discovered that this minister actually squandered money that was meant for COVID-19, vaccines and relief and whatnot in the country. Well, will you actually blame this president right now? Now, you can look at the caption. The person is saying, I want a president like this. Do you really want a president throwing punches left and right and center? Anyways, welcome to Unplug. Thank you so much for joining us today. And yes, this is another exciting episode, and it is time for us to take each other through all the updates from all across the world in politics, entertainment, sports, every single thing. We talk about your favorite celebrities and those who are making the news. My name is Victor, and this is every NG. Thank you so much for joining, and let's get right into it. We started with a familiar name, Lekon, but not Lekon himself this time, but his manager, Temitope Gomez. He's actually celebrating his wedding anniversary, and it's really beautiful to see. I was going through his wife's Twitter page, and I saw these really beautiful pictures of both of them together. It was like she was trying to document some very special memories, and it was really, really good to see. Now, I'm wondering and maybe hoping that Gomez family is going to transfer some of that marriage energy to Lekon. I mean, he's not getting any younger, is he? It's just a suggestion. Please don't quote me anywhere. Okay, congratulations to them once again. And now let's talk Messi, AK. While people are celebrating their relationships, some people are, moving away from their relationships. And of course, there have been rumors here and there about Messi, AK, and Ike Onyema about their rumored splits, things not working well. There was a time it was like they were throwing jabs at each other on social media, but none of them actually really spoke about it. Even Messi has been flaunting some other men or a particular man. But then we have it, one of these parties has eventually spoken up, and this time it's Messi, and she has admitted that they indeed have split. So the Messi and Ike ship has, gone down into the waters. There's no rising from that one again. She was in this question and answer session in one of her videos on YouTube. She was answering questions from Twitter, and somebody asked her to say what exactly happened between her and Ike. Well, she was like, she doesn't want to answer silly questions anymore. Yes, they're done, this and that. She just seemed like she wanted to move on from it real quick. And just in case you were having a little bit of hope somewhere, somehow, that they were still together, sorry to dash your hope, but it was not me, it was Messi. And they're no longer together, okay? Now let's talk someone else from the BBNaija show, and this time from season 5, Trikytee. Trikytee teased new music, not an album art or anything, but then he posted a picture of himself in the studio, and he talked about how he has been making new sounds, and he cannot wait to push these new sounds out for everybody to hear. And of course, if you have been following Trikytee closely, you would know that he was into music at some point in his career. He was trying to really push his music, but took a step back for a while. Apparently, he wants to take a big step back into music, and I'm looking forward to that one. So we wish you all the best, Trikytee. And yes, another BBNaija housemate, but from a previous edition, and this time it's the Double Wahala edition. Nina Ivy. Nina, for all the reasons that she made the news, is, making the news for something, quite different this time around. And she posted this TikTok video that she made on her Instagram, and Khloe Kardashian, yes, the Khloe Kardashian, responded to the video. She actually dropped a comment and liked the video. She commented with a, heart. And Nina was all over the place. She was really excited, and she was, oh, I love you so much, Coco. She went back to her Insta story and posted something else, and was like, did you see my fave, on my last post and all of that? I'm like, you would remember when it was Tasha and Nicki Minaj, where Nicki Minaj reacted to a couple of Tasha's posts on social media and followed her as well. And it was like, wow, everybody was going berserk. Well, maybe if this classifies as an achievement, it's one for Nina Ivy as well. So maybe congratulations. Thumbs up. Well, away from all of them now, let's talk another entertainer, Tonto DK, this time around. She was also into music, just in case you did not know. Tonto DK was actually signed by the band to his record label at the time. That was in 2014. And she dropped not just one song, but two songs. But this time she was talking about one of the songs she dropped, and the title of that song was High. And she was saying, I'm not happy with all of you who hyped me back then and made me feel like I was actually having something close to a successful musical career. She was like, even my son runs away now when I sing, and I'm going to spank that boy. And so, like, when I no try, I am definitely going to get back at all of you fans who made me feel like I was doing good music. And I'm like, okay, this is what you call self-realization. She has come to that point where she has come to terms with the fact that no, music was never for me. But it's good that she's just making jokes about it and everybody's having fun. So Tonto DK, just stick to what you're good at doing, acting and humanitarian work, so everybody can be fine. All right, now let's talk something a bit more serious, and this time it regards Uti Nwachukwu. He posted a series of tweets yesterday, and he was talking about fidelity and cheating in relationships, and he said that according to him, it was a very honest conversation that people should be having. And he said it's really, really difficult for people to stay sexually committed to one person for the rest of their lives. And that the pressure to be in monogamous relationships has led a lot of people to be deceitful, to be hypocritical, and pretentious, and all of that. Well, according to him, acute cheating, not chronic cheating. Acute cheating, that means you're cheating, but you're not cheating. Like, you're not doing it too much. But he said, according to him, acute cheating should not be a reason why a relationship should be ended. I'm like, okay. And he also said that it is people who are the most hypocritical who actually do these things, and they are very quick to judge other people. Now, there are different schools of thought regarding what Uti Nwachukwu said. Some people agree with him, and some people are of the opinion that no, that is absolute crap. Don't say anything like that. But you let me know what you think about Uti's comments, because they're quite weighty. And just let me know what you think in the comments section. I would love to get your opinion about what Uti was saying about cheating in relationships. Okay, now let's move on. Let's talk national news this time, and this one is not so savory. It involves a 25-year-old Nigerian in Vietnam. Now, this Nigerian goes by the name Unachukwu Chiluba Paulinus, and he has been sentenced to death in Vietnam for drug trafficking, for moving drugs, and he also admitted to his crimes. He didn't plead not guilty. He admitted to his crimes and described how he arrived in the country and met some other African or a Nigerian who introduced him to the whole thing. And he talked about how he has been moving drugs from Cambodia into Vietnam. Well, there you have it. Bottom line, he has been sentenced to death. But then I was, curious to know if the Nigerian government can do something about it. And I found out that yes, the Nigerian government can actually do something about it. Perhaps plead for leniency to see that death sentence removed, maybe converted to a life imprisonment term or something like that. But will the government do anything about this actually is the question now. And do you think that the government should actually intervene in this kind of situation? Let me know in the comments, all right? Over to Jam now. Jam has announced that they apprehended a number of hackers who infiltrated their system and made away with the sum of 10 million naira. You hacked Jam and you decided to steal 10 million naira. Well, that was the news. But these people, according to Jam, were apprehended. And we got an update earlier today that these hackers have pleaded for forgiveness. They have apologized. We do not know whether they're going to be let go, but in the picture that you can see there, you can count about 11 people who are there on their knees, seemingly begging for their lives or whatever. We do not know what Jam is going to do, but definitely we're waiting for an update regarding that particular story. So just make sure you stay tuned to every NG. Okay, back to the entertainment side of things, and this time we're talking a Ghanaian actress. Do you remember one time when this young lady took a picture with her son, a 7-year-old boy, actually, and she was nude? She was completely nude, and her son was just standing right there in front of her. She said stuff about how she was naked when she brought him to life, and this was her completely. It made a lot of people go nuts. I mean, why would you expose this little child to something like this? I mean, at this time in his life, it's so wrong, and you're supposed to be his mother. So many people did not accept that. Well, just so you know, she has been convicted for nudity back in Ghana by a court in Ghana, and we do not know just yet, what her sentence is going to be or what kind of punishment she's going to receive for that. But there you have it. Aquapem Polu has been convicted for what she did back then, and we'll keep you posted about that one. On the foreign scene, in the United States of America, President Joe Biden has announced that US troops are going to now be withdrawn from Afghanistan. This is coming 20 years after the war on Afghanistan was initiated, after the bombing of the World Trade Center in America. And President George Bush at the time, started this war in Afghanistan, sent troops, and they have been there all this time. Interestingly, maybe quite symbolically or significantly, President Joe Biden made this particular announcement the same spot where the president at the time, George Bush, made the pronunciation that the war on Afghanistan had started. So there you have it. After 20 years of occupation in Afghanistan, US troops are coming back home. He also made it clear that there will still be bilateral relations and collaboration between both countries in different areas, but the war has officially ended. All right? Good to hear. Now let's talk sports as we begin to wrap it up on the show. It was UEFA Champions League night yesterday night, and finally the quarterfinals are over. And now we know what teams are going to be seeing in the semi-finals. First game was between Borussia Dortmund, BVB, against Manchester City. BVB were expecting to, or were hoping to, turn over the first leg deficit, but it was not to be, as Man City still won the second leg by 2-1. And now Man City have made it through to the semi-finals. And in the second quarter-final game that was played last night, it was between Liverpool and Real Madrid. And that one ended goalless, but Real Madrid have made it through to the semi-finals with a 3-1 aggregate win. So congratulations, there you have your teams, and we'll be talking more about the Champions League as it continues. That is all we have on Unplug for today. Thank you so much for being a part of the show as always. And until we come your way next time, don't forget, this is every NG, and my name is Victor. Goodbye.